Okay, here's the question that's listed. In this case, we're looking at a forward contract, 1-year forward contract that you bought 9 months ago for delivery, 50 million euros. Since it originated 9 months ago and originally was a 12-month contract or 1-year forward, and it's long, so you bought 50 million. Therefore, it has 3 months left, and so it gives us information, and it says, if the forward contract were terminated today, what would you expect to have to pay or receive? In other words, how much is it worth? Generally, if it's worth something positive, and if you have something that has a positive value that you own, you would, when you get rid of it, you expect payment. If it has a negative value, then you'd be willing to pay to get rid of it. At any rate, so there's the information. First thing you should do is write down the information, which I've done here. Today is t equals 9 months on a 1-year contract, so it has 3 months left to go. 3 months from now is the delivery date. Okay, they give you the forward rate on the contract is 1.38. The spot exchange rate today, that is the price of a euro today, is 1.43. Well, that's supposed to be a 4. $1.43 per euro. That is 1 euro costs $1.43, $1.43. It also gives us interest rates today. Those would apply to any present value calculations, and they're asking for the value of the contract. So, how do we do this? How do we find, well, the value of the contract is kind of like net present value. The value is the present value of inflows minus present value of outflows. And this is true for any contract, really. So, so yeah, it's basically a net present value, or NPV, and the present value of inflows, what we're receiving, and the outflows that we're paying. We bought euros forward, so we're receiving the euro, and the present value of the euro. Well, we'll call it inflows, and that would be 50 million euros, which we will receive on the delivery day, which is 3 months from now. So its value today, its present value, we'd have to discount it by 3 months. So we can do that using continuous compounding, or you could just divide by 1 plus the periodic rate, which for the interest rate for euros is 4%. So 3 months or 3/12 of a year would be 1/4 of that, or 1%. I'll just write it. So we got 4% is the interest rate, 0.04 times t, which is 3/12, is 3/12 of a year. That's e to the minus rt, which hopefully you're familiar with that. Also, we would need to multiply that by the spot. That is a present value in euros. So in order to convert it into dollars, we want to find the value in dollars. Well, you could find the value in euros. It's actually kind of arbitrary, but since we're American, we'll go ahead and solve it in dollars. So we need to convert. Either way, you have to convert both inflows and outflows to the same currency, and also you have to convert them to the same point in time, which is today, 9 months from origination and 3 months from delivery. So we're going to multiply that by the exchange rate. This is an amount of euros and present value. We would use today's exchange rate to convert that into dollars. Today's exchange rate is, where is it? Right here, 1.43. So times 1.43 dollars per euro. Okay, so when you do that, let's see, we get, so that's 70,788,563. So there's your inflows right there. Now we need to find the present value of outflows. And of course, we're paying dollars to receive euros. We bought euros forward, so we're receiving what we bought, euros. We're paying the other currency, which is dollars. So how many dollars do we have to pay? Well, we need to make that calculation because we're given that the forward contract is on 50 million euros. Well, how many dollars is that? How many dollars will we be paying in order to meet our obligation on the forward contract? Well, we just take the euros and multiply by 1.38 dollars per euro. That's the forward exchange rate. So that's 1.38 dollars per euro times euro 50 million, right? So in present value, so times e to the minus RT, or actually it's capital T minus little t. Sorry about that. Well, at any rate, that'd be RUS. So that's going to be 1.38 times 50 is, let's see, 1.38 times 50 is 69, so that's $69 million. And times e to the minus, let's see, the interest rate in the US is 10%, so 0.10 or 0.1 times 3/12, so 0.25. So there's our, we calculate that, put that in our calculator, and I get, let's see, 67,000, or million rather, 296,384. So the value in total then is the first minus the second. So that's going to be 70 in dollars. 70 million, 788, 563 minus that outflows 67, 296, 384 dollars. If you do that, you get, let's see, the calculation, we get $3 million. That's supposed to be a 3. 3,492,179. So that's what the contract is worth, and it could be negative. If the present value of outflows were more than inflows, this would have been a negative value. But in this case, what you're receiving, the euros, has a larger present value than what you're paying, the dollars. So the contract's worth almost $3.5 million. And then the question asked, let's see, whoops, wrong one. It asked, would you expect to have to pay or receive this amount? Well, again, if you have something of positive value, then upon ending that ownership or termination, you would expect to be paid for releasing that thing of positive value. If you have a car that's worth $3.5 million, you'd think you'd want something, and to get rid of it, you'd expect to be paid. Of course, if the contract had a negative value, you would have to pay in order to terminate the contract. In this case, when you go to the bank or the other counterparty to the contract to negotiate early settlement, or termination rather, the fair exchange would be the long counterparty, or you, would receive $3.49 million. And the short counterparty should have to pay that much because that contract would have a negative value to them. So so the answer to the question is you should receive $3.492 million upon termination. That should